Hi folks, I'm Richard Friedman and welcome to another one of my cartoon countdowns for today, November 1st, 2022. Okay, we made it through October. Come Sunday, we change the clocks back. So things are moving along there. Time's traveling on. Time travels. So I'm glad to see you all back here and welcome you back. And before we get started on the countdown, a little background is that I've been writing books for the last few years, starting with the first year of the Trump presidency and right through it. And I'm about on my 8th book. And every week or so, I share my cartoons with you on Twitter. And based upon the popularity, number of impressions, I categorize it and shoot it out to you for the top 4 or 5, whatever it is. This week it's the top 5, starting off with Número 5 de la Semana, number 5 of the week. And before I get to that, I'd like to show you my latest book here. It's available. You could go to Richard's Books at politicalcartoons.com on my website, and there's a link there to Twitter, and you could order it, or you decide not to just go there and browse and have a good time. It's like I always say it's like a political Disney World, where you can see all my latest books, all my past books, this book here, some of the first 5 pages of this book, with no charge, no admission fee, and it's like like I said, it's like a political Disney World. And here, this was the cover of the book. I try to make it as fair and balanced as I possibly can. And randomly picking out some of the cartoons. Here we have okay, let's see here. This is I'm just gonna flip it by you, and you could see just some of the recognized. This is Lavrov, the Russian ambassador Lavrov, and some of the comments that he made here. And we have former President Trump there, flying over Moscow in a dream. Okay. All right. And then we have Biden here on a yacht. This one, they were seizing the yachts of the Russian oligarchs. All right. Here's Hawley in front of the Capitol. Putin watching Hawley in front of the Capitol from his office there in Moscow, in the Kremlin, in Moscow. Watching Hawley. Okay, Josh Hawley. Okay, this is when Russian President Moscow Kremlin watching past video of Senator Josh Hawley, Republican. Missouri, giving a clenched fist salute to prior Trump mob before the Capitol riot on January 6, 2021. All right, there's Putin watching him there. Picture of Stalin in the background. Okay, folks. Well, let's get started on the countdown. I just remind you again that Richard's Books at politicalcartoons.com. The link to Amazon is there, and all you got to do is make like you're going to buy it, and then just look at the 5 introductory cartoons, and just exit out if you don't want to buy it, and just have a good time on the 5 first pages of my book. And there are other books there too. So, okay, having said that, let's get started on the countdown. Here we go with Número 5 de la Semana. Here we have Archie Bunker. Bring back Archie Bunker with his son-in-law, Mike Stivic, from All in the Family here. And they're watching Archie Bunker, watching House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, Republican California, say, House Minority Leader now, hoping to be the majority leader, hoping, has his fingers crossed, say that a bill to roll back the $80 billion in funding that Democrats just gave the IRS would be in the Republicans' first order of business if they take back the House, saying they're projecting now that the Republicans will take it by a slim majority. That's the general consensus, is that the Republicans are going to take the House, but it's going to be a slim majority. So you take that for what it's worth. All the statistics and the numbers, and this is the general consensus, okay, saying slim majority to the Republicans in the House, okay. I haven't heard anybody say they're going to take the Senate. I haven't heard that, So that means, what that means? Gridlock. You got, So for the next couple of years. Anyway, it sounds like that. It's logical to me from what I'm hearing and the way things are going now. So it's very plausible that will occur. Saying we're going to repeal 87,000 IRS agents, and these, I'll also look this up, and those are predominantly the ones who do the income tax returns. So if you think about it, it means that the people making lots of money who do this and that with their CPAs and everything, they got all the know-hows to kind of to take the tax loop, the loopholes and everything like that. So they're the ones who will be less examined. The guy who's the school teacher, or the guy who picks up our garbage or something like that, they get that's already taken out of their pay and they get their check. So it's the the real people who are into all kinds of things and gimmicks and making all kinds, who are going to have less supervision over their tax returns. So that's what it sounds like from everything I've read. Okay, so then we got here. Minority McCarthy saying this: we're going to repeal, as I was saying, the 87,000 IRS agents are, quote, it's a direct quote from McCarthy, our job is to work for you, not go after you. So who's he talking to here? He's working for the rich people, work for you. He's making it saying that, okay, we're going to save everybody a lot of money from cutting. What it's like? It's like a bank, a big bank, and they're going to save money, they're going to cut all their security officers and the people who are involved in bank security. They're going to fire them all and get rid of them all to save money, to raise their line so they could get more of a profit. Save money on security, and that money goes to generate more profits. Gets rid of all the security. Oh, hell with that. We got all the money we're going to save by firing all the security guards at our banks. Same thing. It's just the same analogy there. Okay, so here we got, again, I showed you the card. Here it is. There we got here. Now Archie Bunker's reflecting on this, and Mike Stivic, there, that's his son-in-law, there he is. And number one, Mike starts the conversation off. They're watching McCarthy here in the living room, in Archie's chair there, And there go the same old Republicans, Arch, working for the rich people. They want no IRS agents checking on their tax returns. And then you got here Archie Bunker responding, and he goes, now wait just a minute, meathead. Everybody knows your IRS is full of your pinko commies who just sharpen pencils all day. Okay, and then here goes Mike. Okay, there goes Mike, and he's saying, Mike says, Arch, it's almost 2023. There are no more commie conspiracy theories in this country. And there are no more pencil sharpeners. It's all computers now. Computers. So then Archie responds, now we're bringing Archie back from 1971 to 72. There weren't, the computers were there. All we had then were at IBM, with those cards. I was taking, I took Stat 357 at Baruch College, and everything was cards, and you fill out the cards, you put it into old 1620 machines, the big, gigantic things. that they had there, and it was like it was you know, it was a completely different world. It was in infancy, the computers. So I don't think Archie Bunker would have known about the existence of computers back in 1971, bringing them back today. So he answers this way. He answers, then this great country can fire those commies without the theories. We don't need theories about communist theories to fire the commies at the IRS and catch them tax cheaters with your commuters. Okay? Okay? So we don't need these people, and we don't need those computers, those commuters. He's saying commuters, and catch them tax cheaters with your commuters. You know, so to him it's a new thing, a computer. So he mispronounced it. He said commuters. You know, because he doesn't understand yet. This is bringing him back from then. So there he goes. You see, he never changed his mind about anything. He had one thought in his mind. That was the way Archie thought. No matter what you said, no logic, no nothing. Everything was the way he thought it, and that's the way it had to be. He wasn't open to any kind of change or this or that. He saw it. That was his world, and that was the way it had to be. And so that's what I was trying to bring out, this point here, and that type of thinking is still here today. So in a way, this cartoon is sort of an analogy of what's going on. You know, people are fixed in their minds, and you can't present logic to them or anything. Once they have it in their mind, it's all commuters. As the computer is here to Archie Bunker, it's all commuters. Okay, commuters don't mean anything, you know. Okay. So we can catch all those cheaters without the commuters. And let's look back at Archie Bunker here. And his son-in-law, Mike Stivic, in front of the TV set. Okay. All right, Numero Cuatro de la Semana, number 4 of the week. Okay. Here we have former President Trump's Fauci dream about Dr. Fauci. Okay. And here we have the Senator John Kennedy, Republican from Louisiana. Okay, this is in today's world. This is not John Fitzgerald Kennedy from Hyannisport, or the President Kennedy. This is a different Kennedy, obviously, here. Okay, there he is, and there is Fauci trying to escape. Now, this is a scenario where the Republicans have taken over, and they vowed to deal with Fauci and bring him to make him testify. It's like the Nuremberg. Fauci is going to have his own Nuremberg trial. The Fauci Nuremberg trial, and here he is being caught on a ship by one of their agents here, one of their soldiers. Okay, on a cruise, and there is Senator Kennedy, John Kennedy. Okay, Trump fantastic Fauci dream. Given the former President Trump has called Fauci, quote, a disaster, and given Trump endorsed Senator John Kennedy, Republican Louisiana, endorsed him back in 2021. So back when Kennedy ran, I think it was his first run in 2021, former President Trump endorsed him, okay, for his Senate seat. Okay, and Kennedy said, and this is what Kennedy said just recently, well, quote, well, unless Dr. Fauci decides to seek asylum in some foreign country whose Powerball jackpot is 287 chickens and a goat, and therefore which won't enforce a subpoena from the United States Congress, then Dr. Fauci is going to be spending a lot of time in front of a congressional committee if Republicans take back control. He's talking about if taking back control of the House. It's doing what they're doing now with the January 6th. Same, there'll be a different type of, that January 6th committee will be gone, and you'll have a committee now investigating Dr. Fauci. You know, like the Nuremberg trial for Dr. Fauci, you know. Okay, back in control. And I would not advise Dr. Fauci to put down a non-refundable deposit on a cruise below Trump's dream of Fauci being nabbed on a cruise ship bound for Madagascar. So Madagascar would be seen like a poor country where he could go and they wouldn't have any reciprocity agreements with the U.S., you know, to bring back people who are subpoenaed, you know, because I don't think there'd be that type of situation would arise when somebody from Madagascar would be subpoenaed to testify in the United States. So there's no agreement. They don't have to honor that. So that's what Kennedy was saying. I picked Madagascar as an example that he would have given if he would have thought of that. You know, he didn't think of it at the time. He thought of the chickens and he thought of the goat, but he didn't think of Madagascar. Okay, I did that. Okay, so here we have now, we have Trump's dream, former President Donald Trump's dreaming here, and here we have Fauci on a cruise, and he's been nabbed by a secret agent with I guess an AK-47 in his back, ready to take Fauci. He's going to take Fauci in, you know, and they've got their ships probably lined up somewhere, ready to put him on a ship, take him off the cruise, and bring him back to the United States to testify. And here we got John Kennedy here watching all this. There he is. Okay, Fauci, agent. Okay. This is the Diamond Princess cruise ship. I made that up. I don't think there is a Diamond Princess cruise ship around. I mean, I don't want to, you know, jinx any or say anything about an existing cruise ship. So that's my cruise ship there, the Diamond Princess. Okay, and now we get into the cartoon. There's former President Trump, the dream. Okay, here we go. And here is the scenario. Here we go. John, get that Fauci. And then, okay, there he is. John, get that Fauci. And then here is Kennedy, Senator Kennedy. And he says, we got him, President Trump, we got him. There he is. And there, Fauci with his hands over his face there, as he sometimes looked. And then we've got here his defense. Here's Fauci defending himself, and this is what he's saying. He's saying, sir, I was just taking this cruise to Madagascar to try my luck at winning their Powerball jackpot of 950 tomato frogs. So he was going to play, his excuses that he wasn't going there to exile, he wasn't running away from anything, he just wanted to play their Powerball and win himself 950 tomato frogs in the Madagascar Powerball. Okay, jackpot prize. There it is. So there's Senator Kennedy. There's Dr. Fauci with his hands over his face being confronted. And there's former President Trump having the dream about this happening. There's a dream about it happening. Assuming the Republicans take the House back. Okay. Okay. All right, here we have now, we have Senator Lindsey Graham, who did not want to testify. He did not want to testify. He'll go back to Georgia. He's leaving on a midnight train to Georgia. That's what I remember. He's leaving on a midnight train to Georgia. Well, Lindsey Graham did not want to leave on a midnight train to Georgia to testify. Okay? He said easily. That's a song back in my day. Okay? Midnight, it was called The Midnight Train to Georgia. That was the name of the song. Okay? And here we have here the justice, the Supreme Court justice, who basically rescued Lindsey from testifying, Clarence Thomas here. And there's his wife, Ginny. And here we have the monster, the Kraken returning. Okay, there is the Kraken, Jenny's Kraken on top of the Capitol. Lindsey Graham being rescued by Clarence Thomas. This is all, again, former President Donald Trump's dream of this happening here. That Lindsey gets off of having to testify because inevitably he's going to be asked questions about former President Trump, which the former president is clearly does not want to happen. And Lindsey doesn't want to be put in a position where that could happen, where he has a choice between perjuring himself or sticking with his ally and friend now, Donald Trump. So that's going to be like, between a rock and a hard place, to say the least. Okay, so here we got the cartoon. This was October 26, 2022. And here it is. There's Lindsey in the arms of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas with his thumbs up. There's Jenny making a phone call. There's Jenny about the Kraken. She's one of, and there is the Kraken on top of the Capitol. And here we have the Trump sign, the Kraken holding the Trump sign there. The 2020, that's going back. Okay. Here's former President Trump dreaming this all. He's dreaming this now. Okay, here goes the cartoon. Former President Donald Trump, fantastic dream. Okay, about the Georgia election probe, where Trumper Lindsey Graham, Republican South Carolina, has challenged a subpoena to testify before a Fulton County grand jury. That Fulton County grand jury is really kicking up a storm here for them. And in connection with efforts to overturn the 2020 election in Georgia, and the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals had ruled that Fulton County could force Graham to testify. Again, he don't want to take that train to Georgia, that midnight train. He don't want to take any train to Georgia. Train, bus, plane, balloon. Lindsey don't want any part of Georgia, okay, to testify. The below Trump dream following Graham's appeal to the Supreme Court and Justice Clarence Thomas temporarily halting the order for Graham to testify. So the courts, two other courts, have already said, no, we're not fooling with him. He's got to testify in the here and now. This is it. He's going right in there. And boom, the Clarence Thomas, he said, hold everything now. Hold the story. We're going to see what's going to go here, see what we're going to do, okay? Without any justices, he couldn't say, maybe my wife, it could be bad optics because my wife Jenny, she talked about bringing in the Kraken if they didn't do something to stop Joe Biden's victory. She was telling him in her text messages to McCarthy that she was going to release the Kraken, to tell him to release the Kraken, which is a mythological sea monster that devoured ships. So that's how this Kraken came about here. This was with tentacles it had and all that business. It was like an amphibious monster, sea monster. It came out of the water, it existed in the water. It was amphibious Kraken, So anyway, so here we got here. And Justice Clarence Thomas temporarily halting the order for Graham. Clarence Thomas could say, you know what? It's bad. My wife was more than just expressed opinion. She got involved. She called people. She texted McCarthy. She did this, she did that. I think maybe we ought to have all the justices decide on this and then have a consensus. But no, that wasn't the way it was going to go. This is the way it went. So he took upon himself to do what he, let's just say, had to do for himself or for whatever, okay? And Justice Clarence Thomas temporarily halting, okay? The wife of Jenny Thomas, who has repeated false claims that the 2020 election was fraudulent, given former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows has been ordered to testify before the same Fulton County grand jury. Now, this was recently, the day I did this, McCarthy was also ordered to testify. So now, if Lindsey gets off the hook, then you can't go. Then that's the end of the whole train. It's a train wreck because that McCarthy won't have to testify. So this is like a litmus test here, this temporarily, you know, just Gannon temporarily did this, you know, it's everything is temporarily. They don't want to. They just, you know. So anyway, a temporarily is a monkey wrench in justice. You don't temporarily halt justice. It's a monkey wrench. You throw a monkey wrench in it, you know. If you throw a monkey wrench into an engine, you don't temporarily stop the engine. You know what I mean? So maybe that's not a great analogy, but that's the way I think. Justice goes. It's a progress. It moves along. You don't throw the monkey wrench into justice. So, and when they have two other courts that already had given the go ahead, without the consensus of the rest of the court. That's my opinion. Okay, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's my opinion. Okay, that's what I think I would have thought I would have done. You know, if in that position. It's hard to put myself in that position. All right. So anyway, so here we are. And here we got Lindsey Graham here. There's Lindsey. He's in the arms of Clarence Davis, being rescued from the Georgia Fulton County grand jury from testifying there, you know. And there he goes in the arms of Clarence Thomas. There goes Lindsey Graham. Saved by the Bell, you know, saved by Justice Clarence. You know, remember that show with the teenagers and they saved by the bell? Well, Lindsey was saved by the bell of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. Okay, Ginny, your Clarence only temporarily blocked my subpoena to testify. I need your Kraken. So he only temporarily blocked it. So it's not a full stop, you know. So Lindsey wants to go all the way, you see. So then you have Jenny here. Hello, Mark. It's Ginny. Pass the word to the Fulton County grand jury because Lindsey called out to Jenny. You see, he called out. He wants the Kraken. He wants Jenny to call up the Kraken. So Jenny now is placing a call again here to McCarthy. Okay, okay. So okay. So here we have. Okay. Oh, I screwed up. It's not McCarthy. This was not McCarthy. This was Mark. He was the head of the Trump office, chief of staff, Mark Meadows. Okay, this is Mark Meadows, former President Trump's White House chief of staff, who she originally called out to, and now she's calling out to Mark Meadows again. So I messed up. I made a mistake. Okay, but at least I admit when I make a mistake, I make a mistake. I admit it right here and out to you. So this was Mark Meadows she was calling. Hello, Mark. It's Ginny. Pass the word to the. She had originally called back then to Risa Kraken. She had called Mark Meadows, the White House former President Trump's White House chief of staff. Okay. That's a correction I'm making. Okay. Hello, Mark. It's Ginny. Pass the word to the Fulton County grand jury that if the great American patriot Lindsey Graham is forced to testify, I will call for the release of the Kraken, sea monster, again, like after 2020 election. Okay, and then you got Clarence Thomas here saying, Ginny, with Mark Meadows, make it 2 Krakens. So the Supreme Court Justice, this is just a dream. It's not anything but a dream that former President Trump is having about getting Justice Clarence Thomas to really move on this and make it, and telling Jenny to make it 2 Krakens. Okay, and it's like two burgers coming up, instead of 1 hamburger, 2 burgers coming up. So it's there'll be 2 Krakens coming up. You know, well, okay, there you have it here. So 1 Kraken for Lindsey and 1 for Mark Meadows. So we need 2 Krakens. Okay, and there is Clarence Thomas making his order there. There he is. There's Lindsey in the arms of Clarence Thomas. And there's Ginny on her phone there, on her cell phone, texting. She's texting, okay? She's texting or whatever. To Mark Meadows, former President Trump's former White House Chief of Staff. Okay. Okay. Now, getting up there, here we have the next to the top. This was a flashback. Trump 2018 nightmare flashback. Given the Trump Organization tax fraud trial begins today in Manhattan. And former longtime and Trump trusted Chief Financial Officer, CFO Alan Weisselberg, who pleaded guilty in August to 15 counts tied to an alleged longtime fraud scheme within the organization, is expected to be a star witness in the trial. Below, Trump nightmare flashback of Weisselberg handing over Trump Organization financial documents to an official from the New York Attorney General's office, which is investigating this. Given Trump's fixer, Michael Cohen, that was his former attorney, I think it was his personal attorney who handled all the fixing for the former president that had to be done. So, given Trump's fixer, Michael Cohen, quote, fixer, his testimony sparked this probe. So if Michael Cohen ended up fixing Trump. He was hired as a fixer to fix Trump's enemies who are suing him. Now he ended up in the final analysis, he ended up fixing Trump, to get this investigation sparked by what his testimony brought out. So here he is. There's former President Trump having this dream, and here Trump's, and this was the flashback from August 27th, 2018. This cartoon was from August 27th, 2018. Trump's second nightmare about Alan Weisselberg in Cohen probe after Trump referred to John Dean as a rat type. So former President Trump referred to John Dean. That was in the Watergate. That was Nixon's lawyer, who was the first one to jump ship against Nixon and testify about what was going on there. It was John Dean. So you see him today a lot on televisions, on a lot of these making comments. So that was John Dean, and here's Weisselberg, and here's the official from the New York from the New York Attorney General's office. Okay, and there's the Trump financials. That's all the financials that Weisselberg is giving over to him. That's the nightmare that former President Trump is having here about that. And then, okay, and that's it. That's basically it here. Okay. All right, numero uno de la semana, number one of the week. Here we have another Trump dream here, and this is based upon former President Trump basically stating his position that he had the right to declassify all the documents that were seized at Mar-a-Lago by the FBI. He had the right to declassify. So the FBI basically seized declassified documents because he had, even though he didn't follow the procedural channels to formally declassify it, his position is that he can declassify anything by, he doesn't have to follow procedures. All he has to do is think about it, like Carson, he's thinking about it, and that's it, So here goes the cartoon. Okay, so here we have the president of China, President Xi Jinping. We have former President Trump and the leader of Iran, Khomeini, here. Okay, and this is Supreme Leader Ali Khomeini. Supreme Leader, he calls himself the Supreme Leader of Iran, Supreme Leader Ali Khomeini. And China, and in China here, we have also another strong character, leader, whatever you want to call him. I leave that up to, I just give you the facts here. And here it is. And they're all around at a chocolate cake at Mar-a-Lago. This is a former president's dream. Okay. And then you have the cartoon. Former President Donald Trump defends the extremely high classified documents the FBI seized at his Mar-a-Lago estate. The documents on Iran's missile program and intelligence work gathering efforts on China. Given the former president has said that he could declassify documents just by thinking about it. Quote, below Trump's defense dream at Mar-a-Lago with China President Xi Jinping and Iran leader Ali Khamenei. Okay, and here you have that. And here we go with numero. And here is President Trump making his statement here. Before those documents on Iran and China were taken to Mar-a-Lago, I had this very beautiful dream. It was that China's leader, Xi Jinping, and Iran's leader, Ali Khamenei, enjoyed their chocolate cake at Mar-a-Lago so much that I thought I'm declassifying all their documents. Because he got so involved and so enthused by his meeting with them that he decided, I'm declassifying everything that has to do with them. All their documents about their country is now declassified. He thought that at that moment in time when he was having the chocolate cake. So from that moment on, those documents became declassified. Anything to do with them. And documents relative to them, to those countries, okay, were found as to be highly classified at Mar-a-Lago, and they were judged to be super classified. So we have a discrepancy here between former President Trump and between what the intelligence agencies have continued to believe is highly declassified, highly classified, I don't mean declassified, highly classified information. Okay, so then there they are in front of the Mar-a-Lago here. And I want to remember this beautiful chocolate cake meeting forever at Mar-a-Lago. It was President Trump thinking about this as he declassifies it, and he thinks about that from now on all this will be classified, and he'll be thinking about this at Mar-a-Lago. And that's that, basically. And there's the chocolate cake, the world's greatest chocolate cake. Looks good. I can take a piece of that myself. You know. And here they are. And here's Mar-a-Lago. All right, folks. I want to thank you very much for putting up with me. Those of you who hung in there, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you again next time. God bless you, and God bless America. And this will be the last time I see you, I think, before we vote. So I'm going to leave you with this thought, is get out there and vote, no matter what it takes. Get out there and vote. And, you know, if they say, well, you get this to that, then do it. If they say, well, you got to use a computer, go to your library, get somebody to help you with a computer, do it. Vote, because this is a very important election coming up, and it's important that you vote, and very important. And that's all I have to say about that. I'll say it again. God bless you, and God bless America. Thanks for watching my video. I'll see you again next time. Take care, folks. Bye.